so much for joining us. Now, if you've just tuned in, you've missed out on the first part of this particular interview, but we will try and fill you in. Of course, today being the day where Minister Angie Motshekga will be announcing the matric results, and this year has been associated, or this time of year, I should say, is often associated with a lot of anxiety among the youngsters who have not performed as well as they had anticipated. Not only those who have failed, but those who perhaps haven't received as flying colors as they would have liked to, and they often turn to the services provided by my guest and her colleagues. I'm joined now by Lorena Carelle. She is the senior counselor from the South African Depression and Anxiety Group. She spoke to us a little bit earlier about putting things into context regarding this time of year. But let's speak a little bit further now about the telltale signs. As a parent or perhaps as a friend, how do I know that my loved one who's in matric is not just suffering from disappointment and that it has now bordered or gone into depression? How do you know the difference?
Right. First of all, depression, like I mentioned earlier in the interview, it doesn't just happen. So there's a progression. There's a build-up. Secondly, depression, it's not just an ordinary sad day. Okay, depression stems a little bit deeper. So your signs of withdrawal, your signs of not wanting to do the things that you normally do, not being happy. This has got to be consistent for 2 solid weeks. Not wanting to come out of their bedrooms, for instance, listening to sad music, just really feeling really low bottom.
Speak to us about the chemical aspect of it now, that it's not just a bad day, like you say, that perhaps there's a chemical imbalance that may need some intervention such as medication. How do I know this?
Well, first of all, you need to be diagnosed by a medical professional. So either your psychologist, your psychiatrist, or even your medical practitioner. They will be able to identify and they will be able to say to the teenager or whoever is suffering from the depression, yes, it is depression, or no, it is just a build-up from stress. Perhaps maybe you're going through a little bit of a stressful period of time due to the fact that you've written matric and now the anxiety of having to wait for those matric results. That is all a build-up. So it's not to say that because you're anxious that you're going to be depressed. Yeah. So there are the definite signs for depression, like I did mention, which would be your signs of withdrawal, your constant crying, your constant sadness. This has got to happen continuously over a period of 2 weeks. It's not just an onset, a quick onset.
All right. Now, I know that you have a line, a suicide crisis line. You also have a number of other avenues that people can get more information.
Absolutely.
The Department of Social Development as well has a 24-hour line for matriculants. They've opened it up for matriculants who may be experiencing some anxiety. We do have some of those numbers, but I'm going to ask you to just read out your SMS number and the suicide crisis line for us.
Great. Please. You can give us a tinkle on 0800 33 33 77, or you can SMS us on 31393. The social development line is 0800 12 13 14, and that is a 24-hour line which you can catch us on.
All right, so the 24-hour line, 0800 12 13 14. So that's 0800 12 13 14. And the SADAG number there is 0800 33 33 77. Am I correct?
Correct.
So
yes.
that's 0800 33 33 77. We'll try and bring you those numbers a little bit later in the show. Perhaps you've just run to the kitchen to go and find a pen. So we will try and bring you more of those details and those numbers once again. Thank you so very much for having joined us.
Thank you.
We leave it there for now.